hard this year with the kids are prudence, so that's making good choices. Temperance, using self-control. Fortitude, problem solving, and justice, which is respecting others. And so we're working really hard with the kids here on these virtues, and if you could help us along through the year, that would be great as well. So we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Felicia Velothon, and I teach 3rd grade math, science, and religion.
And I'm Christy Reyna. I teach 3rd and 4th grade reading and writing, and then 4th grade social studies.
And I'm Katie Gillard, and I'm 4th grade math, science, and religion. And then new this year, I'm teaching 3rd grade social studies. And I know people have had questions about that, but since 3rd and 4th, we share Christy for English language arts, and there's 2 sections of 3rd grade. The only way it worked is so that I would take on social studies. So that explains why, and that will probably just be for this year.
All right, so we wanted to start with how we will communicate with all of you this year, and a little bit about how the students are going to be responsible for helping in that communication. So planners are filled out daily by the students. The teacher always stands up at the board. We have a huge planner on each of our boards, and we fill it in as the students are at their spots, filling theirs in. It should be copied just like ours. And when they come home, we ask that you please check their planner after you've seen their work or their homework. Don't just quick sign the planner and shove it back in, because then we think that you saw their work and things are going to be coming back. And so it's really helpful if you just kind of make sure you've seen their homework before you go through and sign their planner. And the teacher signs the planner every day before they go home too. So we make sure we either put a check mark or a star or sign our initials that we've seen it and it's filled out correctly before it comes home to you. So you'll know that everything in there is what should be the homework for that evening. And we don't read the planner until usually the end of the day. So if you have a note that we need to know, you might want to just send an email instead. If it's something for like, oh, we have a 10:30 dentist appointment, an email would be better than putting it in the planner because we don't see those until the end of the day for the students. And then on that note as well, were we going to talk about the, oh yeah, okay.
News. So each week you will get information from us highlighting specialist and then special events, and also little tidbits about the upcoming curriculum for the following week. 3rd grade, they send a paper copy home. Is it every Friday?
Yep.
And then 4th grade, I do, through EduTabs, I just do an email. If you want a paper copy, you can ask, and I can also send one home. But we just kind of went all online on that.
And then the principal's bulletin.
And then the principal's bulletin, yes, Ms. Laird emails something out every week. Again, just kind of highlighting special events, news, information. There's oftentimes pictures of things that happened during the week. So always dates and important information in there. That comes right at the end of the day on Thursdays.
All right, so we just wanted to show you an example of our behavior slip. We call it a think about it or think it through slip. Hopefully none of you have seen one of these yet this year. This is something a student would receive if they're misbehaving, off task, and aren't able to respond with a reminder or two. They would get this slip, and it's their job to fill it out. They need to fill out, what was I doing, why is this behavior inappropriate, and how can I improve? Sometimes we'll also write a little note if they didn't quite explain clearly for you, and then they need to sign it, we will sign it, and then it's going to come home to you as a parent, and you will need to discuss it with them and sign it, and that needs to come back to school. Most of the time, they get a couple warnings before getting one of these. If it's something big, you know, any sort of violence or touching or anything that doesn't warrant a warning, they would get these right away.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to shift gear to snacks. So that's something we're doing in 3rd grade. We're doing a morning snack and an afternoon snack. Same in 4th grade. And so we just wanted to give a reminder about the foods that we're asking you to send for snacks. So any kind of cheese, granola without nuts, crackers, meat sticks, raisins, any other dried fruit, pretzels, fresh fruit, and fresh veggies. No nuts in anything. We do have some allergies. And then also no dips because they spill in the carpet and it gets pretty gross. So like no applesauce, no yogurt, anything like that that could spill and be sticky. We ask you to try not to send those things with them. But so far it's been going pretty well for snacks. And it's a small snack. It's literally like a 5 to 8 minute time. So not an entire roll of Ritz crackers, just a small, I had one today, but you can't eat that whole thing. So just a small, quick snack would be best, so.
And in 4th grade too, I call it a working snack. We don't stop and break. I mean, if they need to use the restroom or get a drink, they can, but most of the time, when it's work time or they have to kind of keep working, it isn't stop and break. Our day doesn't allow for that. So it does need to be just kind of quick
and
easy.
On that quick note too, a water bottle is super helpful so they're not constantly going to get drinks. So just a water bottle with a nice top on it would be something to send every day too.
Homework. Okay, so again, both of our classrooms, we have the daily planner. We always, not only do we do it at the end of the day, most of us do it at the end of each class. So the students really do have a lot of opportunities to get it written down and ask questions if they're not sure about something. Reasonable expectations for 3rd and 4th graders is about 45 minutes of homework a night. If it gets to be more than that, and it's a stressor and it's frustration, that is not our goal. Homework is practice. And so please just write a note on the paper if it ends up being more than that. Just say, 45 minutes, we're done, and that's good. And we'll obviously communicate that with us too so we can make adjustments if we need to. Another thing too is we love that you are checking to make sure your kids are doing their homework, but our expectation is not that you are doing it for them or really helping them. It's important for us to see if they are struggling with a concept or need extra help with something. So if a paper is coming back perfect day after day, we're thinking, okay, they have this. We're not getting little flags that maybe they need a little more help. So it's good for us to see some of those mistakes. And if they do make a bunch of mistakes, they can certainly have a chance to come in, talk to us, and they can then redo it and get points back. And then this is new for 4th grade this year. I think this is your policy last year, but if they score 80% or less on a test, they can redo it. If they score 80% or above, we're just going to leave it. Last year we let everybody redo anything, and it just got to be too much. And then sometimes it felt like students weren't really studying. The first time around they were kind of just, I'll just redo it, So we really want them to work hard and study and be prepared for the test on that day. But if they do get below 80%, they can make corrections and then earn up to 80% on that test.
All right, so grades. Educate is where we keep track of all of the grades, and I'm going to show you in just a second how to go and check that as a parent. I think it's super helpful. That's where you'll see if your child is missing anything, or if you can see kind of how they're doing throughout the trimester, so that at the end you're not like, what happened? But this is our grading system, so it's pretty standard, 90 to 100A, 80 to 89B, and so on and so on. So I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to show you Educate for people who don't or aren't as familiar with it. Okay, so I'm just signed in as me. So this is what the parent view looks like for Educate. So when you sign in, it used to be Cornerstone, but it's educate.tabs.com, and you sign in and you get to this screen. You would click up onto School, Students, and that is going to pull up your child or your children in the school. Then you click over on the arrow to look at your child. So you can check their assignments, you can check their grades, and you can check report cards. So I'll just click on assignments. And then you see at the top the this is what we use when we're entering in grades. So if we don't have an assignment, we will put an N in for not turned in, so it'll flag it. So when you pull up your child's assignments, if you see things with an N, that means they did not turn it in, and it's a missing assignment. So when you get, sometimes this will automatically generate an email if their grades drop below a C minus, I believe it is. So if you get an email from Miss Laird that says your child's grade in math is a D right now, please contact your child's teacher. Before you even do that, go here. Because then you're gonna see, oh, you have a D because you have 12 missing assignments. So we need to get those in, and then your grade will go back up. So this would be, I think, your first step if you get an email. And then please also don't hesitate to email us and we can figure out a plan. But this is kind of where you would go to look at things. And you can also filter. So you could click here and click to the N, and then it will pull up any of them that are missing. So that's a great way for you to just see, oh, okay, these are the 3 things that you're missing. We need to find those and get those into your teacher. So, and once they get returned to us and they get entered, the grade goes right back up. So just note this is a really helpful thing. And I think in 4th grade this year, we're really going to work hard on getting the students to go in and look, because once they get to 5th grade and up, they are going to be more responsible for looking at their own grades. So 4th grade, we're going to try and work on that with them in some technology time this year as well. So, any questions on that?
And just a quick note too, at the beginning of the trimester, if there's just a couple grades entered and maybe they got a couple wrong on those, their grade at that time may look lower than it actually is. It's percentage based, so sometimes you might get an email alert. Like I know I gave a social studies assignment, if there's 2 assignments in and they missed a couple on each, their percentage at that point is really low, but by the end of the trimester, it goes way back up, so just don't panic.
Yeah, and
We always get
spelling
emails,
2 grades.
yeah, exactly. Okay, absences. So please call the office when your child is absent, okay? If we know ahead of time, you can always also email us. We are more than happy to gather work for them that day and either send it with a sibling or send it to the office for you to pick up. And yeah, email classroom teachers for makeup work. Homework for long trips will be given upon student return to school. So we, last year, had a conversation as a staff, and we wanted to make sure that we were all really consistent about this policy. So for those of you that have kids in different ages, this is a school-wide policy that if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, the homework is given upon your return. It's a lot of work for the teachers to gather things and plan for ahead of time, and not everybody can do that, so we just want to be consistent. So it's nice to know ahead of time if you're going to be gone, but you can just plan that they'll have to make it up when they get back.
It's also been my experience in the past when we give work ahead of time. Half the time in the classroom we don't get to that point because things just take longer. So then that child comes back and they've already done 5 assignments that we still need to get to. So it's just easier to give the work once the student comes back to school.
And then this one is very important. Because our day is so much shorter this year, we're finding that we're not getting to check our email until the end of the day. Like I check it at lunch and then at 2:30 when the kids go. So any, especially last minute, end of day information has to go through the office. So please call Joy, and then she can try and reach us by phone, or she'll run and hand us a note. But otherwise, we can't guarantee that we're going to get emails and messages.
Okay, we just wanted to show you a few of the field trips that we already have planned for this year. So every year, I believe it's K through 5, goes to the children's musical at Ticino Grace in the spring. Just next Friday, we are going to the Native American Heritage Lab, which we're really excited about. 3rd grade takes a trip to the Minnesota Zoo, the planetarium, and then we go to the nursing home once a month. And then 4th grade has the Science Museum and History Museum on their plans for this year.
All right, there are, as many of you know, lots of opportunities for volunteering, so we just wanted to highlight a few. being a room parent and coming in for classroom parties is a great way to come in and see what's going on and get involved. Marathon is right around the corner. In fact, when you leave, your envelopes are right on the tables outside, so if you can grab those, that'd be great. Wines to Wishes is the last weekend in January, so that's a really fun event, and thanks to that, we have lots of new classroom furniture this year. And then our end of the year classroom party, and then lots of field trip opportunities, as you just saw.
Okay.
You wanted to touch on band.
Yes, I do want to touch on band. So today was our first official day of band in 4th grade, and I know some of you are 3rd grade parents. So this information is geared towards 4th grade, but also valuable for you as you start thinking about band next year. Band, it happens during the day, and so the kids that go, they miss about 25 minutes of class time, and they do miss class. And so I talked to the kids today, and it is their responsibility when they go to make sure that if there's an assignment that's going to need to be turned in, that they leave that for me, and then when they come back, they're checking in to make sure there's nothing that they missed. They have to make that up, and sometimes that's, you know, during the day if they can find time, or they're having to take that home. But it really is up to the student to do that. We have a rotating schedule, so each week they go at a different time, so they're not missing the same class each week, which is nice. But it does take some getting used to. I mean, it's up to the kids to remember when they go and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of added responsibility, which is good for them. But you know, if we're finding that they're missing work, they're not able to keep up, we will obviously have a conversation about that. I love that there's so many kids that want to be in band, and it's a great opportunity. So we certainly will work with your child to make it happen, but again, it is added responsibility. And then for those of you that have kids in band, group band starts October 24th. So right now it's just lessons during the day, and then the whole group, they'll meet after schools on Wednesday starting end of October.
And then going on to book orders, I will periodically send those. I don't send them every single month, but you'll see them come home once in a while. And then birthdays, did you want to?
Sure. So in birthday, on the child's birthday, they're more than welcome to bring a treat. They do not have to bring a treat for the whole grade. They can if they want to. In 3rd grade, there are 16 students in each homeroom, and in 4th grade, I think 21.
Grade, yeah.
If their birthday is over the summer or during a holiday, they're more than welcome to bring it on their half birthday or before Christmas break, whenever you really find convenient. You can send that in. It's not mandatory, though.
I want to add one thing about accordion folders quickly. So they're new for 3rd grade this year. And 4th grade, I think some of the kids are still working through it. So when they come home at night and you check their planner, you can also take the stuff out of the take-home section in the accordion folder every night. That would be really helpful. Otherwise, the folder grows.
But everything else, leave in.
Yes.
Just the take-home stuff is
Just take
supposed
home.
to.
Yeah.
Because they're switching, you know, when I see them for social studies with 3rd graders, I will give them stuff to keep that they need to bring back to class. So if it's just because it's in there, it doesn't mean it's supposed to go home and be taken out. Only the take-home stuff gets taken out. All right. Anything else? Yeah. Are there any questions? We covered all.
All right. So on that, in the hallway, like I said, are the marathon envelopes, and then my room is open. So my room is one of the flexible seating classrooms. We're still missing our rocking chairs, so it does look still pretty open. Those are on back order, but if you're welcome to go in there and try out some of the oodle chairs and all the other things in there and kind of see. I think it's been going really well. The kids have really loved it. This has been a really great week, and they're doing a great job with it. So feel free to stop in there. And then also next to my room, room 106, is our new resource room. So that is an area where students that need any type of extra assistance, whether they are struggling with something or they are really high achievers and need extra challenge things, that's a room for students and for the teachers to use. So you can peek in there as well. So it's kind of a new thing. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thank you. As always, if you have questions, please feel free to email us.
If we don't know your email.